Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, every once in a while I like to include what we're going to talk about today in our videos, because even though it's not necessarily about prepping, in a way it is, because it lets you know where you stand as far as government goes. Meaning that the government ain't going to be here to help you when you really need it. Because if they don't care for you now during good times, what makes you think that they're really going to care for you during the hardest of times? Look at Palestine, Ohio. I'm sure that it's still a devastated area, but you never hear about it anymore. If anyone here from Palestine, Ohio, or someone nearby, can you let me know? Send me an email and let me know, how is the situation there going on? Because we haven't heard about it. At least I haven't heard about it in any videos or any news clips that I've seen on a video here or there, or from the government themselves. But what I'm getting at is that if during the good times, during the times when you can go to a supermarket and still get food, even though it's expensive, during the times when you can still open your tap, ladies and gentlemen, get water out of it, even though you should always put it through a reverse osmosis system to make sure that it is truly potable. During good times such as what we are living now, if the government doesn't care about you now, what makes you think that they're going to care about you when times are really tough? It's called self-preservation, and they will preserve themselves. Before we start on what I want to read through today, which is going to be 3 subject matters that we're going to cover, I wanted to show you this and go ahead and leave a link to it, because it is a website that has a whole bunch of different companies that are selling things that are made here in the United States. So I just wanted you to take a quick look at it, see what they offer. I'm not affiliated with this place. I actually just learned about them a few minutes ago, but I think it's a great idea that it maybe something is on your list that you buy it from one of these companies, because they're American companies that make their stuff here in the United States of America. And the title is The Best USA Made Gifts for November of 2023. And you can just come to this website, ladies and gentlemen, and just scroll down and you can see here soap, all right? Nice fancy soap, maybe festive soap. You can go and check this out if you like. A rug. Okay, it's just a whole variety of different things. Clothes hanger. So if you need clothes hanger, go ahead and buy it from this company. It says here that they're made here in the United States of America. Okay, I'm not sure where they source the actual ingredients that they use to make these things, but it says they're made here in the USA. But the point is this, that if you look into this and you find that, hey, yeah, this is a good company to do business with, go ahead and do business with them if you're going to be keeping US dollars here in the United States. And there's a whole bunch of things. Look at this thing right here. It's a Millspin Rhino bar, stainless steel pry tool, keychain, screwdriver, box cutter. So it's a whole variety of different things. It's not just for one niche. Lip balm is what it looks like. A dropper, all right, a mattress elevator or a mattress stopper, whatever this is, a vent door. I mean, a whole bunch of different things. Go take a look at it. I'll leave the link. Again, I'm not affiliated with them, sponsored with them. They don't even know that I'm doing this. I just happened to come across this and I thought, hey, I'll go ahead and share the link, and hopefully some of you will have some of the things that you're wanting to buy for this holiday season on here, and you can go ahead and get it from them. Again, ladies and gentlemen, like we've been talking here for the past several months, when you see that your government would rather send money overseas than to actually clean up the mess that we have here in the United States, it tells you just how much those that are really in charge care about their constituents. Here it says, San Francisco, clean for Xi, but not for thee. And what they're mentioning here as far as Xi goes, I believe that they're having some kind of a world conference in San Francisco. I haven't read this article yet, but I think I heard it in the grapevine that they're having some kind of world leaders conference or something like that in San Francisco. And you know that for the last several years, San Francisco has been in a state of really disrepair, with the homeless population getting bigger, with drugs getting worse, etc., with them having to actually develop an application for your phone that lets you know what streets have more poop, human poop, than others.
There's an app called Snapcrap. This guy built an app that allows you to report public poop in San Francisco. The whole idea is to request San Francisco to go clean it up. So here's the result of that.
So someone created an app to report poop on the streets in San Francisco. This is the result. A detail for your viewing pleasure.
It actually looks like poop smear.
Now wait just a darn minute, they say. For decades and with increasing severity, residents of San Francisco have been forced to navigate through poop-covered streets. And all while the city couldn't stop it, ladies and gentlemen. They even hired, I believe it was pooper scoopers for like $100,000+ a year, and it still kept getting worse and worse and worse. To me, this just says that it's a policy problem, right, ladies and gentlemen? If anyone listening to this is from San Francisco, please send me an email and let me know. Is this accurate, what they're talking about? Is it accurate that you have to have an app that lets you know what streets have more poop in them or not? Is it accurate that there's a really big homeless problem of a lot of people that are taking drugs on the street, and that the local government there actually supports the drug by giving them syringes and things like that, paraphernalia? And here it says that soon President Xi Jinping will meet with President Joe Biden in the Golden City, and San Francisco was miraculously able to clean itself up, seemingly overnight. So in other words, they actually did have the resources in order to clean up the city. They just would rather not clean it for the citizens that they're supposed to represent, and therefore clean it for those that don't even care about San Francisco. It's pretty sad, really. Look at this. It says San Francisco finally fixed the homeless crisis. All it took was a visit from a world dictator. And there's a before and after picture. Pretty sad. So again, I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, do you really think that your local government or your state government or even your federal government is going to be there when your kids are hungry? They may be for a very small, short while, but will they be there for the long haul? I would say that you better start getting prepared now if you haven't gotten prepped yet. And ladies and gentlemen, let me cover this very quickly. Yes, it's about Oupes. They do have a Black Friday sale that started a few days ago. It's an awesome sale, on top of which you can get an additional 10% off if you use my code. So if you're in the market to get a solar generator, at least check out Oupes and compare it to other brands. You're going to see, in my opinion, you get the best bang for your buck with Oupes, and you get what they promise you, ladies and gentlemen. If they say that this machine is going to give you 4,000 watts continuous, it's going to give you 4,000 watts continuous. And let me cover this other part really quick. It may be a small rant, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. And this is actually not a good thing that I do, because I should just let it go. But somebody contacted me because they thought that they were mistreated by Oupes. Oupes made a mistake and put out a coupon for 50% off, and they meant to put out a coupon for 30% off. When he called them up on it, they said, hey, we messed up. It was for 30%, not for 50%. So he contacted me asking to see if I could make it right. And I'm like, sure, let's see if we can make it right. Because personally, if I was Oupes, if I owned the company, if I was their CEO and someone made that mistake, I would just stand by it. But I'm not Oupes. I don't own the company, and I can't do that. Well, he got upset because he couldn't get the 50% off that it had set on that posting. And it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, on top of the 30% off that he would have gotten using that code or whatever sale they were having during Halloween, I already forgot what it was, and my 10% off, he could have gotten 40% off altogether, right, roughly, right? But it wasn't 50% off, so he had to go throw a fit. So anyways, to you, if you happen to be watching, because you said you were going to unsubscribe, that's fine. What I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, is that companies make mistakes. My favorite company in the world is Nutrient Survival. Do they make mistakes? Have they made mistakes? Yes, they have. And they will in the future again. Why? Because it's being run by human beings and not robots. Now, let's get back to our video. Forgive, but do not forget, ladies and gentlemen. I think that no matter how hard some people try, they will not be able to forget, because the repercussions of what's happened in the last 3 or so years with the health crisis is going to continue to remind us of what happened during those 3 years. Brutal health crisis authoritarians insist on a little grace and forgiveness for lockdown mandates. Again, ladies and gentlemen, forgive, but do not forget. Why do I say forgive? Because if you hold hate or discontent in your heart, it is you that it's going to hurt. But don't ever forget what all of these dictators, tyrants did to their constituents and their fellow human beings during the past 3 years, where we all faced this health crisis that I believe had like a 1 point something% mortality rate. A leading academic at New York University wants amnesty for people who pushed lockdown policies during the health crisis. Marketing professor Scott Galloway made the comment during an appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher this week. He claims those who supported lockdown protocols did not fully understand the consequences of such decisions. Really? Because I heard a lot of other voices that actually did understand it, like doctors and scientists who got shut up by the mainstream media and by social media, whose voices could not be heard, ladies and gentlemen. Here he says, quote, "I wanted a harsher lockdown policy. In retrospect, I was wrong," Galloway said. "The damage to kids from keeping them out of school longer was greater than the risk." Wow, isn't that nice? Isn't that something that I heard a lot during that time, but that was not taken seriously and that was pushed out of the media by censorship? He continues saying that policymakers were ill-informed about the health crisis. Therefore, he said, these individuals should not be held accountable for the outcome of their decisions. God forbid, don't let them be held accountable for poor leaders that they were just misinformed, ladies and gentlemen. And while you were locked down, while you lost your job, while you lost your business that you worked your entire life to build, they were out having parties. They were going to the gym, getting their hair done, going to restaurants, really nice restaurants, and eating it away with their rich friends. Yes, let's forgive them all. Again, forgive, but don't ever forget. But unfortunately, I bet you that half the American population has already forgotten about all of that stuff. But they will be reminded day after day after day, because I do believe that the numbers of people that are leaving this earth in the physical form, ladies and gentlemen, is going to continue to get higher and higher and higher as the years or months go by. You just wait and see. Eventually, they will not be able to hide the numbers. And he finishes off by saying, we were all operating with imperfect information and we were doing our best. They were not doing their best. They were only listening to those that they wanted to listen to because of politics. Politics should have nothing to do with science. In my opinion, that is. And then he says, let's bring a little bit of grace and forgiveness amid the S show that was the health crisis. No, the reason that it was an S show is because of those people that people like this guy here supported in locking us down, in violating the rule of law, in violating the Constitution, which they took an oath to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is why things turned out the way that they did. And here the author finishes off by saying, this is quite a change of tune for Galloway. Compare his current take to what he wrote back in 2021, an op-ed titled, "Half of America has its head up its ass. It's time for juicy juice mandates." Imagine that. Let's elect this guy to office. He sounds like he would be a great leader. I know I am being a bit sarcastic. These kind of things just get me excited, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I want to go ahead and invite you to this afternoon's live stream. It's going to be on Grayman Prepping's channel. I did put the link on my community page if you want to go ahead and click on it and have notify you. It's going to be at 3 p.m. Alaska time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So hope to see you there, because Grayman and myself are going to break down the headlines and we're going to have a good time interacting with those of you that are sharing the platform with us this afternoon. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.